I had a couple of revelations that I would like to share with you, doing constellation work, and firstly for myself, and also holding space for other people to move their topics. And I was reflecting on the current geopolitical conflicts that are happening all around the world, and all other atrocities happening to humankind. That if you kind of zoom yourself out, let's say you are an extraterrestrial being, you don't know anything about Earth and life on Earth, and you look at Earth from above, you kind of start wondering, like, what the fuck is going on? And somehow I'm wondering, or I'm imagining how all these political leaders are still somehow children, or wounded children, trying to use measures of force and control and manipulation and power over mechanics, instead of collaborating, instead of creating supportive communal spaces, instead of that love is the guiding principle for all negotiations. And during the constellation work that I've been supporting and holding, I could really observe two things when people are coming in with their own personal problems. So the one thing is that we are conditioned as humanity through our upbringing, but also through the system. We have learned from a very early age that we have to function, that we have to be in a certain way in order to be socially accepted. There's always like something in us that is not right, we are too much, or we are not good enough, or there's something wrong with who we are, with our essence, so that we have to put on certain masks, identities, roles that we can portray to society so that we can be liked and we can be socially accepted. But by doing that, we're really losing the connection to our true essence. I mean, the connection is not lost, because the soul is always longing for this connection to happen. That's why we feel depressed and angry and frustrated and sad, and all of these I call the negative emotions, or the heavy emotions, because on a soul level, or on a higher self level, we know that something is not right when we are not fully and authentically expressing who we truly are in our core essence. That's kind of the first thing being played out during the constellation work. And the second thing that I've been encountering is that we are such complex beings. We have so many different nuances and dimensions and energies all around us and in us. And sometimes there's one part of us that really loves to be around other people, and then there's another part of us that prefers to be by itself and alone and really likes to have space. So these two parts are kind of standing in a conflict. And what usually happens is, and because that's what we know, that's what our system tells us, you have to go into a fight mode. You have to go into war. These two parts are going into war with each other. Instead of this part, for example, asking, hey, you like to be with other people. okay, can you tell me more about this? Okay, yes, I really love to go to places because it makes me feel alive and vivid, blah, blah, blah. But I don't understand why you want to be at home all the time. Well, it's really comfortable, and I can find peace and stillness, and new inspiration can also come through, And when these two parts start talking to each other and start understanding why this part is doing this, why this part is doing that, they can be like trust, and also like a mutual understanding, and also out of this resulting this need for, hey, okay, now I understand you. How can we support each other in order for the experience, for this human that is inheriting all these different complex energies within oneself? How can that human live harmoniously and peacefully? And these parts can be so different, That's just one example. Another part could be, let's say, being like super loud and blah, 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 talking a lot and wanting to express itself and being sexy and and the other part is like a little bit like old lady style and like I don't need this, and I'm just comfortable with where I am, and I'm just gonna be sit and observe. And we have so many different parts, and it's so beautiful to really get to know all of these parts within oneself. And eventually, if we are feeling there are certain conflicts happening between certain parts, 2 or 3 or more, that we can find a certain balanced approach, like finding a certain, maybe like a compromise or a negotiation where all of those parts feel comfortable. Or maybe the negotiation is, okay, on those days you can be like this, and on other days you can be like this. Whatever the negotiation is for you, so that you as a being with all these complexities feel at ease and at peace with yourself, so that you're not constantly fighting or constantly overthinking or constantly not knowing what decision to make. So I think once we have really mastered and understood all of these parts within ourselves, and also know and have found the resources how to balance everything within oneself, then we don't need to play out all of these conflicts that are actually within us in the outside world. And I think, that's my hope, that one day we will be there, that we don't have to, to portray a certain image in order to be liked, or to have control over certain things or people or land or whatever, so that we feel more powerful, because within ourselves we lack the power, or we don't know how to access it. Or maybe in our childhood we have always felt like we are less than whoever was on top of us or dominating us. So there is so much potential for humankind to heal. The important thing is that everyone has to start within oneself first, in order for peace to be in the world. So peace out.